Welcome to the broadcast of Alamo City Aztec basketball on SHN Sports. And now onto the court with the voice of the Aztecs, Bobby Mendez.
And we welcome you all to Port San Antonio, site of the NABL semifinals here for the NABL championship. Bobby Mendez here, joined with Brandon Collins, the owner, the commissioner of the NABL, and we welcome him for this matchup between the Alamo City Aztecs and the Quad City Flames and MLBA, semifinal. And Brandon, we welcome you to the broadcast, and I know you probably were not expected to join us, but what an opportunity here it is for you to talk about your league.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. Glad to be here. Glad to be here in San Antonio. The site's here. We've had a great, group here in San Antonio with Aztecs, and for them to host today has just been great. Them to actually be in the finals is, even good for the league as well as the town itself. So,
talk a little bit more about the Alamo City Aztecs, as this is their second year with the MLBA, and for them to be in the semifinals today, what that means to you as bringing in new teams to the league.
Oh, it's having that consistency, having those teams that every people that made the playoffs this year has actually been with us since we started. So it's longevity is what these teams bring. Quad City Flames is on their second year as well with the league. We didn't get to see them play as much this year as we like to, but working on some things to make them have more games. And Quad City second year, and we tomorrow we got Huntsville, which is going to be their second year in the league as well. So very excited.
Well, certainly an exciting weekend of basketball here for MLBA. Right now we've got Mark Thomas, the public address announcer, announcing the starting lineup for the Alamo City Aztecs. Let's get those guys. Number 2 is a 5'10" Kenny Williams. Number 5, 6'6", Josh Simmons. 6'4", number 10, Jasmine Walker. Number 22, 6'5", Andrevius Smith. And number 32, 6'3", Raymond Harris. Now let's get the starting lineup for the Quad City Flames out of Washington State. Number 8, Desjuan Newton. He's a point guard at 6'2", out of Seattle, Washington. Then we have number 9, Terry Corker, forward 6'3", out of Titusville, Georgia. Number 13, Jamal Miller, playing point guard, 6'2", out of Seattle, Washington. Corey Tilkey out of Bakersfield, California. He's a guard at 6'3", and he's wearing number 21. The coach for the Quad City Flames is Marcus Doc Stansel, and the coach for the Alamo City Aztecs is Ryan Johnson. So we're getting ready here for tip-off in just a moment. Again, if you're just joining us, we welcome you to Port SA San Antonio, home of the old Kelly Air Force Base here. Getting ready to jump for the Aztecs, Andrevius Smith and Jamal Miller for the Quad City Flames, point guard out of Seattle. Check that. That's number 21 jumping at, Corey Tilkey. The clock is set, and we're off. The jump ball will go to the Flames, and right away into the lane. Basket no good, knocked away. It was Jamal Miller who could not finish that layup, but now here comes Harris for a long three. That is short, rebounded by the Flames. Here comes Desjuan Newton up the court, over to the left side. Steps back, fires, long 2-point shot. First 2 points belong to the Flames. Handling the basketball now for the Aztecs is Williams. Now over to Simmons on the left side. Long 2, that doesn't go, off the rim. Here come the Flames. Once again, Newton, he gets his pocket pick, and here's a fast break for the Aztecs. Williams goes into the lane, and he can't finish there. Here come the Flames. Miller down low, underneath, no good. Aztecs with the rebound. Here comes a fast break. Down low, Raymond Harris. He gets fouled on his way up to the basket. That is Raymond Harris. Always like to see Raymond Harris. He's a player for the Aztec that plays with a lot of passion and emotion. So Raymond Harris will get to the free throw line and have a chance here to get the Alamo City Aztecs on the scoreboard.
Bobby, I just want to mention these referees. We're good to have these referees. They're all D1 refs today. And we're just lucky to have them part of our league, and wanted to give a shout out to the referee organization for putting this together, a good crew here.
Most definitely. For the officials, we'll get their names here in just a moment. The next break. 2-1 to score. Harris nails one free throw. Newton with the basketball. He's guarded by Harris. He fades away. That's a little short. Coming up with the rebound is Josh Simmons. Handling the basketball will be Jesmyn Walker. Top of the key, makes a move, and there's a blocking foul. As Jesmyn Walker will get to the free throw line here, and you talked about the officials for today. Brandon, that's Jason Bali, Sadiq P.J. Pettyjohn, and Ben Alanis. That's the officiating crew for this semi-championship game.
Yeah, they came all over Texas to be here today, so very blessed to have them.
A shot from the corner. That is good for Josh Simmons. Picks up his first 2 points. Over on the right side.
Number 13 just shot a three from deep with a rebound from 22.
Simmons into the lane, and he gets fouled. Count the basket, and he'll get to the free throw line. So Josh Simmons will go to the line. He's 6'6", out of Morehouse College. Played NCAA Division II. He made that free throw. So now here come the Quad City Flames. Jamal Miller with the ball over to the corner on the right side. Over to Corker. Route reset up at the top of the key to Newton. Newton directing his offense. Creating some room into the lane. Up and under for Deshaun Newton. Newton with 4 points already. The Aztecs respond with a drive to the basket, but nothing doing there. Fast break on the other side for the Flames as Jamal Miller not able to make that layup there, but he is fouled on his way to the basket.
Bobby, one of the weirdest things about being a commissioner is trying to take sides on any of these teams. It's like they got such great players to just to actually be a part of and to get to watch. You just get to see them from start of the season to now coming into the playoffs. There's so many great talents and personalities in this league.
Speaking of Jamal Miller, he's at the free throw line. He made his first free throw. Second free throw is good for his second point. Here come the Aztecs, trailing by 2. Kenny Williams looking for Harris underneath. Misconnection there, but the ball last touched by the Quad City Flames, and the Aztecs will get the basketball. Actually, they're going to call a foul on the Flames. They'll charge Terry Croker with the foul. That'll be his first. Top of the key, Josh Simmons goes one-on-one. Oh, loses a handle. Ends up in the hands of Jamal Miller. Miller gets it right back. He crosses the timeline. Setting his offense and guarded by Andrevius Smith. And Miller loses the ball, but it goes out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Aztecs. Top of the key is Tilke. Tilke over across court, other side. Pull-up shot. That one's good. That's a three-pointer for Jamal Miller. He has 5 points so far. Into the lane. Nice, easy bucket for Jasmine Walker. Handling the basketball is Newton. Gets it out over to Clarence Trent. Down low. Looking for a cutter is Tilke. And that basket is good for Corey Tilke. Williams with the basketball. Underneath. Whistles will blow.
Out of bounds. Flames ball.
The ball does go out of bounds. And now the Quad City Flames will have a substitution here. Patrick Lewis having a seat. And Stephon Hargrove into the basketball game. He dishes it back to Miller. Miller finds Tilke, and he misses that shot. Here come the Alamo City Aztecs. Kenny Williams drives into the lane, tries to scoop it up. He was looking for Andrevius Smith, who gets a handle on the basketball, but finally, as he's getting up for a shot, he gets fouled underneath. But that's going to be a foul before. Nope, he's going to go to the free throw line.
Number 21 for Tilke. That's his second.
Second foul for Tilke. Timeout will be taken. We'll just take a quick little break, and we'll return back with the semifinals between the Quad City Flames and the Alamo City Aztecs. And we welcome you back to Made for Fitness Gym here in Port San Antonio. Brandon Collins, Bobby Mendez here with the semi-final game. Winner will advance to the MLBA championship tomorrow. At the free throw line is Andrevius Smith. Smith is 6'5" from Vienna, Georgia. He's a two-time MLBA All-Star this year and last year. And he won the 2018 MLBA All-Star Game MVP in Oklahoma City, where he scored 30 points. And there he's got that second free throw. The Flames respond back with a three of their own. Jamal Miller is lighting it up behind the arc. Now back to the other side. Walker down low to Smith. Smith scoops it up and puts it in. Walker, he's got it by Williams. Walker will just pick up and shoot. That one goes behind the back of the rim. And here come the Aztecs underneath, looking for Kenny Williams. The second pass a little bit too high for Williams.
Williams has an arm right there. He's throwing it from half court all the way over.
Nice baseball pass.
Sign him up.
We're here in the first quarter still. The Flames on top of the Aztecs, 14-9. We'll take another quick break. We'll be right back. Made for Fitness Gym here in Port San Antonio as the Aztecs trailing the Flames 14-11.
Flames ball.
Jamal Miller out of Seattle, Washington, brings the ball up to court, gives it over to the left side to Kwame Bates. Now Thurston underneath, gives it up over to Stefan Hargrove. And back over to the right side to Willie Causey. And Causey will drain a three-pointer.
Yeah, Causey was an all-star last year. Came up to OKC. It's good to actually meet him.
Out of bounds. Aztecs ball.
A little bit of contact there on the drive for Kenny Williams, but no foul is called. Ball goes out of bounds, and Aztecs will have the basketball. Top of the key is Josh Simmons. He drives in, high off the glass. Smith will try to put it back, but there's a
jump ball
between Stefan Hargrove and Andrevius Smith. And Brandon, how coincidental is it that San Antonio, the host city for the MLBA championship, actually has a team playing in the possible championship?
Well, if you would have probably looked at the preseason rankings, you would have thought that they should have been here. And then we had an amazing team that they had to go through. I think it went into I definitely know it went into overtime. It might have been in double overtime with Wichita Wizards. And they just gutted it out and won by a point. So it's amazing to see the competition level that we have between the teams.
And the championship side is predetermined before the season even starts, correct?
Oh, 100%. We agree everything above the season of where it's going to be hosted. All the owners vote. So Alamo City actually got it, and it just so happens that they are in the finals.
Well, something to really play for the Alamo City Aztecs as they are here against the Quad City Flames out of Washington State. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Quad City Flames will have the basketball. Kyle Thurston gets it over to the left side. Into the lane is Kwame Bates, and he gets fouled on his way to the basket.
I think both teams are still just looking at each other and sizing each other up like a boxing match. They're shooting threes. They're now driving inside. They're just seeing what's working.
So far for the Quad City Flames, they've been able to nail a few threes and hit their free throws.
At the line shooting for Quad City, number 32, Kwame Bates.
Ray Edwards checking into the ball game for the Aztecs. Second free throw is good. 19-11 to score. The Aztecs trail by 8. Brandon Nichols also into the ball game for the Aztecs. Three-pointer right down the middle. Jasmine Walker will nail that long three-point shot.
Yeah, he was also an all-star this year. Got to see him in Lake Charles. Great individual kid.
Miller, check that. That's Newton over to the top of the key to Bates. Nice move. Bates into the lane, drops it down in the paint. Underneath. Nice put in for Patrick Lewis, the strong forward out of Seattle, Washington. Brandon Jones tries a three of his own. Falls in the hands of Jasmine Walker, and he is fouled as he tried to put that one back.
Good hustle on the glass there.
Jasmine Walker, 6'4", out of Tonoho Odham Community College, and from Hammond, Louisiana. He's been with the Aztecs for 3 seasons.
He had a good following in the All-Star game. Had about 15 people just showing up with his jerseys on it. So it was good to see his family sit in front and got to play in front of him. So
always a big vote of confidence when you have family around. Ryan Johnson checking into the ball game for the Aztecs. Ryan, of course, also a member of the basketball team and, of course, the franchise owner for the Alamo City Aztecs.
Yeah, it's good to see him back on the court this year after last year's injury. 12 minutes into the first game of the season, he tore his hamstring.
Definitely seeing Ryan's recovery throughout the year, working hard in the gym. Bates, he's guarded by Johnson. Gets it over to Lewis. Lewis drives in, good defense. Great defense, enough to create a turnover.
That West Coast basketball is normally drive it in the middle, pound it. So seeing them with a lot of guard play today is kind of interesting.
Walker tries a long three, and it is good. Jasmine Walker. I think I'm going to want to buy one of those jerseys pretty soon. Over to the right side is Kyle Thurston. Thurston thought about passing it, and he'll nail a shot. And he had a defender all over him.
You know, I just want to, say that that's what kind of talent we have in this league. Not even an all-star this year, and look what he did.
Over to the right side. Walker again tries another three. Jasmine Walker is heating up. Thurston, guarded by two defenders, gets it over to the left side. Another three attempt by the Flames, no good. Ryan Johnson with the rebound. Here comes Brandon Nichols underneath to Jasmine Walker. Long pass goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Aztec basketball. Little rally here for the Aztecs as they only trail by 2 points now. A lot of that led by number 10, Jasmine Walker, with the last 8 points. Misses that three. Ryan Johnson tries a putback. That doesn't go. Here come the Quad City Flames. Long three. That one's short. Hits the front of the rim. Handled by Ray Edwards.
Yeah, I was telling you they were just weighing each other down to see, how they could strike the best against each team. Looks like Alamo City is getting their stride.
Yeah, it looks like each time they bring the ball down, they have a little bit more and more confidence.
This game's all about run, so you got to watch that Quad City coming back here right here.
But we certainly know both these teams are very athletic and they shoot very well.
And Quad City's coming out here shooting a lot of threes.
Thurston. Looks like the clock needs to be adjusted. Thank you for joining us here. We also thank Carl Schoening of SHN Sports for putting together this broadcast. Of course, Rob Hipp as well.
Bobby, I'd like to thank you for being with us as well.
Well, I appreciate you having us here. Always exciting basketball every chance we get an opportunity to do a game for the Aztecs. Ryan Johnson is called for a foul. That's going to put Terry Croker on the free throw line. Out of Titusville, Georgia, he's a forward, 6'3" for the Flames. First free throw is good.
Yeah, we're starting to see these players move around the country, for whatever reason, the, living situations going from one team to another. It's not like they're being drafted or coaxed to go over. It's just purely just living situations changing, and seeing them still in the league is great.
It brings for great diversity. And there's a nice shot. That's good for Brandon Nichols. Thurston, now over to Lewis. Back over to Thurston. he's not shy about putting up the three. This time it's short. He feels like he was maybe had a hand on there. I know Coach Doc Stansel not too happy about that. So the Flames, with a one-point lead, had a lead up to about 8 earlier, but the Alamo City Aztecs slowly but surely creeping in on that lead. Jones finds a gap, and he gets tripped up as he was going through the middle, through the paint. There's a foul. Are they putting him on the free throw line? They sure are. Brendan Jones hits his first free throw out of Carson, California. This is his first season with the Alamo City Aztecs out of Pfeiffer University. Second free throw is no good. Here come the Quad City Flames. Zwan Newton into the lane. Scoops it, can't get it to go. Rebound, put back is good. That is Stefan Hargrove. Just under approaching the half-a-minute mark here in the first quarter. Underneath, nice put in by Ray Edwards. Hargrove kicks it up to Lewis. Lewis drives in, guarded by Johnson. That doesn't go. Trying to put it back was Jerry Croker. And the defense by the Aztecs was denied, and a blocking foul. Go check that, a charging foul against the Aztecs. 8 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Let's see what happens here. Didn't quite check to see who that was that took the charge. But what a great play it was for the Flames.
Number 8 took that charge. He got there right before he drove in. Good to get his feet down.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter. We're all knotted up. The Flames 27, the Aztecs 27. Here from Port San Antonio, Made for Fitness Gym. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Port San Antonio, Made for Fitness Gym. Brandon Collins, I'm Bobby Mendez, and we have a second quarter about to begin here with the Aztecs and the Flames tied up at 27. It was a fast start for the Flames, but the Alamo City Aztecs really picked it up late in the first quarter.
Oh, that's going to go right down to the fourth quarter. We're going to see who has heart, who's got the bench.
Winner plays tomorrow for the championship for the MLBA
against Huntsville Force, which is undefeated for the season. So we'll see how good these Huntsville is against the rest of the league.
So keep it right here. to find out. And the game will be broadcast once again on SHN Sports.
We'll give a shout out to our beautiful basketball. Moulton's been really good to us this year and last year for, really seeing what the league has to offer, and has been helping us out all season.
All right. Johnson down low, kicks it out. Long two-pointer by Ray Edwards. That doesn't go. Very short. Here come the Flames. Newton drives in, passes 3 defenders. Great layup to get into the paint. And the Flames will take the 29-27 lead. Brandon Nichols over to Johnson. Ryan short on that long 3. Here comes Newton.
This is that run I was telling you about that you had to watch for the Flames.
Newton battling in the paint to get in. A little bit of contact in there, but nothing called there, which is good. Over to the right side as Julius Hill was trying to drive into the lane, dish it out, and pass a little too high for the corner.
Yeah, they just called a foul on 23 for he didn't land and ran right into the other player.
So the offensive foul. Get that sweat mopped up real quickly.
I think the league's emphasis this year has been about how everybody comes down when they jump up for a shot or when they go for a rebound, of how they come down. I think that's a big emphasis on what maybe we might be looking at last year for safety control.
Well, definitely anything that errs on the side of safety for the athletes is something always to kind of consider. Jamal Miller, he tries a long 3, and that will go in as he's shaking his head. The lead extends 32-27, a long 3-pointer, this time by Hill, and that doesn't go. Stephon Hargrove. No-look pass underneath, down low, back over to Hargrove. Hargrove resets it, over to Miller. Miller gets a screen. Miller with some moves. Miller could not get rid of the basketball. And he does create a foul.
I don't know what Doc said to him in that quarter change, but he got him coming out pretty smooth here.
And a bit aggressive as they were getting to the basket.
He was pretty fired up going into it as well.
Hargrove over to the corner. Over to Newton. Back over now to Croker. To the left side, that's Miller. Jamal Miller resetting it for the offense. Brandon Jones on the defensive side. Into the lane. No good. Rebound Hargrove. Hargrove kicks it back out. Miller wanted a foul. Didn't get it. Hargrove. He was calling it. Hargrove, you can see this angle here. I know the official couldn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the right place there. He was trying
to call a timeout. Didn't get it, so
he grabbed the ball coming down. That's a hard timeout to call.
Alamo City Aztecs now have the basketball. Trying to stop the bleeding. Hill pulls up, jumper. That's good for 2. Miller. Oh, little chicken wing right there. Little arm. Sold it pretty well was Brandon Jones.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but he did. He signed him up for acting classes. But hey, referee sees it a different way.
Aztecs trying to get back into this ball game, trailing just by 3 points. Making his way to the free throw line is Raymond Harris.
That's his second.
First free throw for Harris is good.
We got a good attendance today, too. say about 200 people show up, and probably and people still coming in.
Certainly are. Great looking crowd. Both free throws for Raymond Harris are good.
It's one of the reasons why we picked Alamo City to host this year is they have a great following. For them to be also in it, it even makes it even better. I think that this place is going to be packed tomorrow if they make it.
I bet you it will. Nice block there by Ray Edwards. Here comes Harris down the lane for the layup. You talk about their following, Brandon, and a lot of it has to do with the organization, with Ryan Johnson. A lot of the community efforts that he does, they're constantly giving back to the community.
Yeah, it's actually, you know, that's, if you look at these playoff teams, they're here for a reason. It's not just basketball. They do great community service work, as number 9 just stole the ball there.
Corker could not finish that as he picked the pocket of the Aztec player. But yes, you were talking about the contribution to the communities from these teams. A big reason why they have the support that they do.
Yeah, all season we've had great community service work by the league and various things that each team does. It's just very noteworthy. I wish we could actually get more involved, as even with what we already do.
Edwards with a nice 17-footer, top of the key. Still a 3-point ball game. Aztecs trail by 3. We'll touch more on that at halftime when we speak to you about the league here. Kwame Bates finds a crease, but the defense for the Aztecs steps up, makes a stop into the lane. Big stop there by number 21, Corey Tilkey.
That was some good defense. It was a 2-on-3 right there.
Good defense on both sides.
Oh, absolutely.
Walker has the ball. Gets a small screen. Behind the back. Nice little crossover. A little too excited there as he was looking for.
You know, Walker's just so dangerous when it comes to he drives, and then when he kicks it out, it's just no one expects it.
Rattles.
Such a great, good passer there.
Passer and dribbler. Exciting player to watch, for sure. Another whistle here. Illegal screen. That's going to go against Scott Edwards.
Something we haven't really talked about, but the Aztecs came back and took a lead there.
They sure did. 35-32. Another foul is called, and now to the free throw line is Jamal Miller, the 6'2" point guard from Seattle, Washington. He started out hot in the first quarter with a couple of threes. That first free throw is good for Miller.
At the line, shooting for the Flames. Number 13, Jamal Miller.
Second free throw is good. 35-34, 1 point lead by the Aztecs. Harris, nice little give and go. As Andrevius Smith was getting into the lane, he gets fouled. They'll be taking it out near the Aztec bench.
I think there's a dispute over how many fouls that number 21 has. Referee's going to go check it out.
And that's Corey Tilkey.
Referees are going to get together here and talk about how many fouls number 21.
Well, we'll let them discuss that. We'll take a quick little break, and when we come back, we'll get back to action. And we welcome you back to action here. The officials going to the official scorers table to figure out how many fouls are on. I think the player in particular is number 21, Cord Thilke. The officials trying to.
Yeah, we got both bookkeepers over there at the table right now discussing it with the head referee. We always want to make sure that everybody is getting opportunity. I mean, that's crucial if he ends up have 4 fouls now.
So it looks like they may have it figured out by now. At halftime, we'll get with the official scores table to get that information as far as how many fouls each player has. The Quad City Flames, Brandon, traveling all the way from Washington State here to San Antonio for this championship game. Here in Port San Antonio, this used to be, not sure if you're aware or not, but former Kelly Air Force Base, one of the big bases here in town. Here we go. We're all straightened out.
Yeah, we'll get with the head table, find out exactly what's going on now, since the head coaches are the only people privileged to that information as well as the scores table.
All right, Walker has the basketball. He's guarded by Newton. Nice little screen. Here comes Walker, dumps it down low. He's looking for Scott Edwards, and there's a bit of a traffic jam down low. And Newton, no, was that Croker?
Looks like Newton.
Once again, stepping up and taking a charge.
It's almost like Walker didn't even see him and jumped over him.
Jamal Miller was going up for a layup, and he got tangled with Kenny Williams II, and they create a jump ball. Official making sure the spacing is correct. There's the ball in the air, and Andrevius Smith with the basketball. Top of the key. Looks right, now goes left, dumps it underneath to Kenny Williams II with the basket. 37-34 the score, the Aztecs on top. Nice post move underneath by Stephon Hargrove. Now a 1-point game. Smith gets the ball taken away on a turnover. Up and under, no good. Rebound. Stephon Hargrove working hard in the paint. Harris fakes the three, gets his defender to jump, gets it underneath. Andrevius Smith Nice points in the paint for Smith.
Then we got acting on the other side now. Number 8.
Newton. And Newton with the basketball. He kicks it out. Three-pointer is a little too far. Ball goes out of bounds, and
Quad City.
Quad City will keep the ball. Coming in for the Aztecs, Josh Simmons. Very close ball game here in the second quarter. This Juan Newton going left.
Simmons put his hands on him. We got a little push off when he was driving. Should be shooting 2 here.
Shooting foul there. Looks like they were lining up for a jump ball.
Yeah, he should be in the bonus. This shouldn't be because he was shooting. I think this was because he's in the bonus.
Juan Newton will get to the free throw line. Newton with a chance to tie it and or take the lead. First free throw is good. That ties the ball game.
As you were saying earlier, Quad City has been shooting those free throws, and that's here when they go cold. That's what puts them right back on in.
Second free throw is good. Sometimes that's just a remedy. Just get into the paint, create some fouls, get to the free throw line.
And you look in the stands, you see Huntsville here watching closely for tomorrow's action, which will be here again tomorrow.
Well, this is definitely a competitive game. I can only imagine what that would be like tomorrow.
See, I don't even know if it's good to play the first day and then turn around and, have fresh legs on the team that's sitting up in the stands, or to actually get the workout today and get loosened up and know what you got mentally go into. It's kind of catch-22.
Right, you never know. One hand, you can continue some momentum. Another hand, depending on how exhausted you are from the game before, what price did you pay to get to the game could be a factor. These guys are young. First free throw for Josh Simmons is good.
Like we were saying, Huntsville sitting in the stands right now because they went undefeated for the season. We're watching these two battle it out for see who takes home the trophy.
The coveted MLBA trophy. Kyle Thurston with the basketball. He's guarded by Kenny Williams II. Takes a long three-pointer from way downtown.
That was some Stephen Curry stuff right there.
It sure was. Williams brings it back, gets it over to Andrevius Smith, and he gets fouled as Thurston will jump on Andrevius on that one.
Just like you said, jump right on him. It looks like he stopped for a second and didn't go up in the air, and Thurston thought he was going up, but he had to catch him to come down.
That was a great move by Andrevius Smith. The pump fake got him in the air.
As both players just know, that was just a hold on so he didn't go to the ground. So they come back up, still friends.
And talk about that shot right before by Kyle Thurston. Dead between the three-point line and the half-court shot. Just a great shot by Thurston.
That's the practice you got to put in and be confident about that shot.
Smith will get the second free throw to fall. Here comes Thurston. Guarded by Kenny Williams II. Thurston finds a little spot on the right side, drives into the lane, and gets a layup.
Yeah, as you see that the defender had to come up a little bit more on him because of him shooting that far out just previous before that.
Jasmine Walker looking to post up Smith. Now Smith goes out to the corner, and Smith dribbles inside, gives it down to Williams. Williams tries to put it up, but can't draw the backboard. And it will be Josh Simmons.
It finally comes away with that. It was good hustle.
Great hustle as he stuck with it. Full court press now here by Kenny Williams II. Thurston putting on some moves. And he caught Kenny Williams II. No, wait a second.
Aztecs ball.
Is that a backcourt?
10-second violation. That's what you
Ooh.
want defensively. Three-pointer doesn't go for Josh Simmons, but there to clean up the mess, Jasmine Walker. Newton drives to the lane. He's short, but that was cleaned up by Terry Croker.
Yeah, you just don't see too many guys, getting that 10-second violation. That's just good pressure defense.
Yeah, Kenny Williams II doing an amazing job.
That hustle play right there, them diving on the floor, that hurts. But number 8 seems to be doing that almost every single time down.
Flames call timeout.
The Flames will call a timeout with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this second quarter. It's a one-point ball game. We'll be right back. The Alamo City Aztecs with the basketball. And the lead. No, check that. They are trailing by 47-46.
I think this is going to be back and forth game all the way to the fourth.
You did call that early in the
just knowing the talent in this league, it's the runs that each team's going to make. It's all going to come down to the fourth quarter. Now, it might not end close, depending on who. I mean, I hope it do because we always want a good basketball game, but it's all about that run, who makes that last run at the end, that push, that drive.
Well, if you look at these two teams, and athletically speaking, these teams match up pretty well. They're both quick. They both can shoot the outside shot, and there's a shot right there from the Aztecs, and a putback by Andravia Smith as Jasmine Walker missed that three. But the similarities between these teams. As a foul is called against the Aztecs.
It's really going to come down to that bench is what's going to have that who's got a stronger bench.
And free throws. There's one Newton at the free throw line.
Ooh.
Misses that one.
Aztecs foul number 32. Raymond Harris.
Raymond Harris gets charged with that foul. Timeout, official timeout is taken. Aztecs still have the 1-point lead, 48-47. Big game here for...
I think we're having a media timeout.
Officials coming together here. Just at the free throw line is Jamal Newton. He was driving into the lane. He got fouled.
With a rare miss down there too. Quad City's been just shooting lights out from free throw line.
This is a semifinal game, so a lot of passion between the two teams. They're going to take an official timeout. And looks like we're back to action here.
As the two players actually just hugged it out, and I think they just need a break.
Yeah. Again, it gets pretty intense down there.
You got the league championship on the line. You know, you have teams coming in that very passionate, just like you said.
So Newton is on the free throw line. He'll be waiting to take his second free throw. Second free throw's no good. Andrevius Smith with the rebound.
I wonder if all that hustle play is actually, starting to wear on him.
Underneath. The basket is good for Josh Simmons. Newton back quickly. Newton driving into the lane on two defenders. Can't do anything. Hargrove kicks it out. Back to the corner. Three-pointer. Hits the back of the rim. No good. Rebound controlled by the Flames. And a hard-working
number 9.
Terry Croker with the putback. And Harris will get called for the charge.
Once again, number 8's right there to take that charge.
Aztecs foul number 32, Raymond Harris. That's his second.
I don't know if they just don't see him or he is a smaller guy, but I mean, the hustle is outstanding.
6'2" point guard, Desjuan Newton.
Let's get a tape measure out there because I don't see 6'2".
Yeah. Yeah, several times Newton has come up big with the defensive stop just by keeping his ground.
And so if they make it to tomorrow, that body is going to hurt after being on that floor that much. Taking the charges, hustle play, diving after the ball.
Well, definitely some consideration for Mr. Newton as for a tournament player. Here comes Thurston. A little bit too aggressive on the defense there I believe that was Jasmine Walker.
Walker was trying to get to the baseline there to push him out of bounds. And
crossing that fine line.
Yeah, that gray area.
Yeah.
Good smart heads-up play knowing where he was.
Thurston will head to the free throw line. That free throw is good. That will give the Flames the point they need to tie this up. That second one is good, and the Flames will reclaim the lead, 51-50. Jasmine Walker coming along as the Aztecs will set up. Walker into the lane, fades away. He is bumped, and he falls down to the ground, and he is fouled as he shoots the basketball.
Quad City foul, number 5, Willie Costa. That's his second.
Walker at the free throw line. We talked about him being an all-star last year, or actually this year.
No, it was last year.
Okay, all-star last year.
He was one of the finalists in the 2-ball competition as well. He ended up coming just a tad short, him and his partner.
Here come the Flames as we're all tied up at 51. From the right side. Kicking it out for a long three. That one is good. Kwame Bates will nail that three-pointer. Giving a three-point lead to the Flames.
And the Flames, they've been having a lot of players that play in multi-different leagues with them. So,
well, there's a put back there by Tilke. And just like that, the Flames are up by 4. Quite a bit of humidity outside, which means quite a bit of humidity in here, which means a lot of sweat. So a lot of sweat on the ground.
it's that hustle. These guys are bumping into each other, rolling around on the ground. Just
looks like they need to adjust the game clock here by 4 seconds. Again, a big thank you to Carl Schoening for the graphics and the score there and the time on your screen. Another foul is called.
yeah, if he wouldn't have hit him from the back, I believe that would have been another charge. He got him right before he ran into the other player there.
Kenny Williams, the second from Concordia University, played NCAA Division III basketball. He's a hometown boy from San Antonio. This is his first season with the Alamo City Aztecs. And he's nicknamed the General for his floor presence.
Yeah, that's how they introduced me to him last night. Is this is our floor general. Every team needs one.
And there's the General now picking the pockets. Straightaway layup, dishes it off for a slam dunk.
See the unselfishness right there?
Andrevius Smith throws it down with the assist from Kenny Williams.
And this game is tied.
A 4-point swing just like that, all started by Kenny Williams. Tilke trying to cross Smith over. Smith not having it. Smith takes it away, and here come the Aztecs. Kenny Williams, nice little move over to the right side. Raymond Harris, nothing doing. He traveled, took a couple steps before he put the ball on the ground.
I don't think he believed that he was going to be that wide open when he got it. And that's that presence of your floor general out there. Nice move.
Jamal Miller tries to make a move, and he gets fouled. That's going to go on Jesmyn Walker.
Aztecs foul. Number 10, Jesmyn Walker. That's his third.
Jamal Miller will head to the free throw line.
As we have 42 seconds left of the first half.
And it's been a neck-and-neck game, first quarter, second quarter.
At the line, shooting for Quad City. Number 13, Jamal Miller.
The Flames started up pretty aggressive and had a pretty good lead early in the first quarter. Then late in the first, as the Aztecs came back. Since then, it's been back and forth. Another lead change here as the Flames back on top, 57-56. Kenny Williams the second, guarded by Thurston. Now down low to Smith. Smith posted up, kicks it out to Simmons. Simmons kicks it back over to Smith. Smith underneath, scoops it, can't get it to go. 16 seconds as Thurston has the basketball. Thurston over to the right side. Miller for three. That doesn't go. Big rebound. Big putback for Kwame Bates.
Kwame Bates for Quad City. Quad City
Delay game warning on that putback there. 5 seconds here in this first half. Raymond Harris set to bring in the basketball.
I think that was, I believe that he got caught for that because he put it to the referee instead of just letting it go.
And Simmons misses that shot. And that's going to take us to halftime. The score, 59-56. The Flames take a 3-point lead into the break. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to chat a little bit about this MLBA championship weekend and also talk to our color analyst for the afternoon, the commissioner, the owner of the league, Brandon Collins. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back here to Made for More Fitness here in Port San Antonio, formerly Kelly Air Force Base, for the semifinals. It is the Quad City Flames and the Alamo City Aztecs. We're at halftime, and of course we want to thank our color analyst today for filling in, and what better person to have right now than the founder of the MLBA and the commissioner, Brandon Collins. Thanks for filling in today and joining in on this broadcast, but also more importantly, want to talk to you and just tell us a little bit more about MLBA and how it began and why it began.
Oh, Minor League Basketball Association. We started a little over 2 years ago. Some of the organizations were looking to go different directions, and different. Some of them were in different leagues, different parts of the country, and we basically just reached out to them and say, "What do you want? What do you want in a league?" And that's how the MLBA was formed. It's an owners-driven league. Started off with 13 teams, and has grown. This year we started off with 23. Do apologize.
And all this in just a very short span of 2 years?
Oh, you don't even know. The first year we said no to over 50 teams that wanted to join in. We're very selective in who we're going after and who we can really choose from, because we don't want to just pick anybody. We need people that are consistently showing up to games and being the competitive level that we're expecting in this league.
And you talk about being picky and choosing teams. I can tell you, just by being here in San Antonio and being affiliated with the Alamo City Aztecs, I can see what the Alamo City Aztecs do as far as community. They have a huge presence as far as serving the community. So is that what the league is mostly about?
That is just one part of what the league's about. We have several different aspects of the league that a lot of people don't even talk about, but community service is huge. Getting these people in the stands. A lot of these teams play out of their pocketbooks, and they can go only so far. But if you get the community to come out here and support you, and by supporting you to just buy a game ticket, showing up to the game and is helping them tremendously. So, if a player can get help from their community where they're not coming right out of their pocket, they can invest more back into the community, and it's a win-win for the league as well as the teams itself.
Talk a little bit about the championship format, what we have here. We have a team that's traveled here to San Antonio, coincidentally the hometown of the city, Alamo City Aztec. They're coincidentally playing in the finals, but the championship site is set in advance before the season starts. Alamo City Aztecs made it to the final 2 games of the season here for the championship. But talk about that weekend and what it means for the league.
Well, let's go back how it's formed. We said we're an owners-driven league. At the beginning of the season, people put in bids for who they want, if they want to host or not. And, the Alamo City was actually chosen to host this year. No matter if they made it or if they were the last place team, we're just looking at, great host opportunities. And they won the bid. They're in the championship finals here. It means tremendous to us because we put so much emphasis that we take a good part of a month to figure out who's going to and we ask questions, of who's going to host it. So, this is just one of our big bids that we do. We also have an all-star game that we bid out as well, and it was in Lake Charles this year. We've had great hosts. Last year, the All-Star Game was a huge accomplishment that, we founded the league on, and we said we were going to do it, and we went out and did it in OKC, and then, we've had a great 2 years this year, but it seems like we've been together for 4 or 5 since the teams know each other. These 2 teams have played in another league together, and have been great friends, and they were going their own separate ways. I called them up one day and said, where y'all going? Well, let's do this. I never really wanted to even be the owner. I just had more time than anybody else. So, we collaborated. We still collaborated on how to keep the league going and what we can do. So,
And with that, going forward, what do you envision for the league?
Growth opportunities. So we're looking into bringing selective groups from each cities, which cut down on our traffic if we can. That we should be able to put together a team in every big city, which is going to lower the cost. So, most of these, like we we're saying, most of these owners play out of their pocket, so travel cost is big. And if you're traveling huge, airfare or hotel stays, they all add up. And some of these leagues don't see where you have to be close to somebody, but the also thing, you have to just have good owners. That's just we've been blessed with that.
Well, we are at the championship weekend. Preview tomorrow just a little bit. We already know that one of these two teams will represent their team tomorrow, but talk a little bit about who they face tomorrow.
Ooh, Huntsville Force. I do own a team in the league, which I think I am putting up, for either for sale if anybody wants to come get it up. But we see them quite often. They are a mess. They will beat you inside the paint. They'll shoot threes. They'll run the court. They're undefeated this season. It looks like they put everything together this season, and look going forward, they got some great owners. And we're looking for great basketball from them tomorrow. Like we were talking about earlier, we don't know if what they're going to show up like because they're in the stands right now, and we don't know if that travel is going to help them or hurt them.
Well, we'll see, and we'll also see who their opponent will be. We're going to take one quick break. When we come back, we'll get this second half started between the Quad City Flames and the Alamo City Aztecs. We welcome you back after that short break to start the second period here. The score, 61-56. The score was adjusted there at the half.
And just to let everybody know is that, the official scorebook is what we go by. We don't go by what the clock says. So, the referees looked at the book and we adjusted the scoreboard.
So now the Flames with a 5-point lead here to start the second half. And now the Aztecs with the basketball. Harris gets it over to the right side, and the ball is knocked away by Tilke. Harris will get it right back on the other side. Here come the Aztecs. Simmons underneath. And he will get called for a traveling violation as Simmons got into some traffic between two defenders.
You're seeing 35 seconds of pure defense right there. Straight out hustle, both ends.
Jamal Miller, guarded by Jasmine Walker, now gets it over to the right side. Harris, the defender on Newton. Underneath to the big man, Patrick Lewis. It was a battle down low. The Flames won that one.
Yeah, at Alamo City, they contest that if he traveled or not. But if you're in the act of shooting, you can actually have another step.
Raymond Harris shows 3 points as he puts 3 points up on the scoreboard. Jamal Miller down low. Harris will get the steal. The assist to Walker. Walker getting fancy on a 360 dunk and could not finish that one.
And so you have to make those. And definitely when you're down 4 points like this, you have to make those.
Can't blame him. No one in sight.
But it did make this crowd stand up.
Made me almost stand up. Corey Tilke. Turnover there by the Flames. Here comes Jasmine Walker. Going straight into the lane, tries a leaner, and that one will go.
Jasmine Walker.
Jamal Miller, guarded by Walker. Miller, left side. And there's a whistle. Offensive foul.
Looks like it was on fifth.
Number 9, Terry Crocker.
Well, they're putting it on number 9.
First team foul.
Terry Croker gets called for the foul. Raymond Harris with the basketball at the top of the key.
Well, off-ball foul.
Nichols kicks it out to Simmons. Simmons tries to go sideline. Nice little jumper from the side. That one will go.
Such a nice job that Quad City even said, good job.
We're all tied up.
Just the sportsmanship we also have.
Filkey, nice move. Oh, kept his foot on the ground, and got it down low to Terry Croker.
Don't tell that to the fans now.
Harris will try a three from the elbow, and that one will go. And that will give the Aztecs a 1-point lead. One of many more lead changes to come, I'm sure. Jamal Miller down low. Nope, up at the top, excuse me. Walker, the defender. Miller underneath. And that's to Lewis. Lewis battling hard and puts it up. And he gets fouled. But the basket goes.
That was a great hustle play. I got to applaud him. He got 3 rebounds right there.
It's a lot of muscle down there.
You know, something else I didn't even say about Huntsville, just looking back, is, you know, Huntsville's the veteran in the playoffs. They last year they took home 3rd with a close game with OKC, and which OKC ended up beating them by 1 point in overtime, or Huntsville would have went to the championship last year.
Well, definitely some redemption for them this year, as they will be in the championship tomorrow. So Jasmine Walker, he gets fouled, and he was going to the free throw line, but no shots for him. They'll just take the ball from the side.
Yeah, they're not in the bonus quite yet.
And just with that hustle play on the other side by Patrick Lewis, we had another lead change. This time it's the Flames on top. Aztecs, Josh Simmons underneath, and he'll tie that game right back up. Juan Newton with the ball into the lane. Nice left-handed layup. Count the basket.
One.
Possible three-point play here for Newton, as he's already given the Flames a 2-point lead, looking to add to that.
Aztecs foul number 5, Josh Simmons. That's his 3rd.
Josh Simmons will be called for that foul. That'll be his 3rd personal foul.
You want to give a shout out again to Moulton with the basketball. It's been a great basketball that, you know, is even played overseas with a lot. So
is that the same ball, the FIBA basketball?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, looks familiar.
Yeah, we're looking. We send probably, if we're going to send anybody overseas, you know, they need to learn how to grip it. You know, I hope we get the connections to, you know, the D League, but until then, you know, we need to prep everybody going overseas to hopefully making money.
Well, it looks like there's a timeout, and we'll take a quick little break, and we'll get right back to the action. We welcome you back. We welcome you back as the Quad City Flames have the basketball. Filkey with the basketball. Nice give and go underneath as the second chance goes for Patrick Lewis. 73-68. Aztecs trailing 5 points. Little hip check there. On the other side, Josh Simmons will get called for that one.
These are the runs. They haven't stopped running here.
Six foul. Number 5, Josh Simmons. That's his 4th.
Dravius Smith checking in the ball game for the Aztecs.
Bobby, I want to say thank you once again for letting me be here today with you and your crew.
I appreciate that. I know it was a last moment deal, but I think it was a great opportunity to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And learn from the league as well. Jasmine Walker will go down with a two-handed slam.
Oh, you saw that. He checked it up. He learned from his first mistake.
Now a three-point ball game. Miller with the basketball. Miller to Patrick Lewis. And Lewis just making a living down low underneath the paint there.
And what I tell you about the West Coast is they love going into that paint. They started off at the beginning just shooting threes, but oh wow, the second half has just been nothing but down low.
And it's been earning them some trips to the free throw line. And Patrick Lewis is nailing those free throws.
And getting his own putbacks if he misses. He's been a hustler right now.
That one, Lewis misses. Rebound by Smith. And here come the Aztecs. They trail by 4. Blocking foul. Now Newton getting a little taste of his own medicine as he was trying to go for the charge there. This time, a blocking foul is called.
Quad City foul. Number 8. There's one Newton. That's his 2nd. 13th foul.
Brendan Nichols set to bring the ball in for the Aztecs. The players are trying to dry up a little bit of the court down there. Making sure they have plenty of grip on this nice wooden floor. Jasmine Walker, top of the key, gets a small screen from Ryan Johnson. Smith fakes the pass, gets it over to Johnson. Johnson back over to Raymond Harris. Raymond Harris misses that shot. And Filkey will come up with the rebound. 2 on 3. Here comes the rest of the Flames. Miller, he'll try a long three-pointer, and that goes.
Yeah, Miller was hot at the beginning when we first started the game.
You're absolutely correct.
He can definitely shoot it. He just he actually second quarter didn't seem to want to shoot. More pass.
77-70, the lead extends now for the Quad City Flames. Underneath, A.J. Smith. He'll get fouled. It looks like the Quad City Flames defense has really stepped it up, making it a lot more difficult for the Aztecs to do anything, and they're picking it up offensively, too, in the paint.
That paint wears on you. It slows down the momentum. Aztecs, if you watch them all season, they've been a running team. Having a big man like number 15 just slows down the pace.
Smith, Andrevius Smith.
But Aztecs have been making their free throws, so it's been keeping them in this game.
These are huge free throws for the Aztecs.
At the line shooting for the Aztecs, number 22, A.J. Smith.
77-71 in the third quarter here. Second free throw is good for Andrevius Smith. Jamal Miller bringing it up court. He'll try another long three. Oh boy, that's dangerous. Wide open Miller with that long three-pointer, and definitely the Alamo City Aztecs want to talk that over as they are trailing by 8 here in the third quarter. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hey, we welcome you back here to Made for More Fitness here at the Port San Antonio in San Antonio, Texas. Brandon Collins, the founder and owner of MLBA, and Carl Schoening producing our game today. We're in the third quarter of this ball game, and the Quad City Flames on top of the Alamo City Aztecs, 80-72. Kenny Williams, the second, has the basketball. Gets it over to the left side as Julius Hill not able to hang on to the ball there. He got fouled going underneath, and he's going to earn himself a trip to the free throw line. These are important free throws here for Alamo City Aztecs as they need to start converting on every trip offensively.
Really don't think they need to, get down like they're behind here. Even with this 8-point lead, they're capable of being right back in it. Just like at the beginning of the game, Quad City started getting away, and next thing you know, you look at the scoreboard and they're tied.
So far, if I'm not mistaken, about 8 points seems to be about the biggest the lead will get. And then it starts to shrink, and then we'll go back and forth. But it's kind of like a bend, and don't break type of style. But once that breaks, it's just going to make it that much more difficult to respond.
It's the urgent mentality. Once you start thinking that you have to urgently start shooting these illegitimate shots and start jacking up threes, you don't ever want to do that. But once you start doing that, that's when you start getting deeper in the hole.
Juan Newton at the free throw line, and boy, if you speaking of just jacking these threes, I mean, you look at what the Quad City Flames three-point shooters have shot the ball from, you just surprisingly where they've made them from. So nonchalantly, a few of the times, just pulling up and shooting from maybe 5, 6, 7 feet from behind the arc.
Yeah, and it's not just one spot. They're can't defend just one corner or anything like that. They're shooting it from all over the arc. And different players, not even just one player in particular.
Exactly, yep. Williams gets it over to Hill. Hill driving in. He'll get it over to Ryan Johnson. And Johnson had it for a small second, knocked away by one of the defenders, and it will remain Alamo City Aztec basketball. Hill from the corner, rattles out. Ryan Johnson rebounds, tries to put it back, doesn't go. And then it's Andrevius Smith with the board and put back and the foul.
And that is just straight hustle right there. He had two defenders on him, looked like a sandwich, and was able to get the shot off and create the foul.
That's his second.
Smith looking for the three-point play here at the free throw line. And that will go. And that will bring our lead for the Flames, 81-78. Newton, left side, put back. Filkey with a monster jam. Here comes Jones. And now Smith into the lane, can't finish. Filkey would get the rebound, but he'll lose it. And Smith will come up with it. Here comes Smith into the lane, left hand. The roll will go for the Alamo City Aztecs. Boy, what a putback that was by Corey Filkey for the Flames. Underneath, Stefan Hargrove gets fouled underneath the basket.
It's always hard for a team that travels all the way from Seattle to bring a lot of fans, but with a dunk like that, man, you start getting the crowd behind you.
Yeah. Stefan Hargrove is headed to the free throw line. I believe it's 2 shots. He did not make the shot underneath. I double check that here in just a moment.
He is shooting 2.
But boy, did Corey Filkey get above the rim on that putback.
He plays with so much passion when he gets his minutes, and he doesn't get many. He's not on the starter list, but he goes out there and puts that hustle energy into it.
High arcing shot doesn't go. Controlled by Smith. Smith will bring it up, drive into the lane, and he'll create a foul for himself. And he'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
Oh, got him from behind there. Number 5 with the foul.
Quad City foul. Number 5, Willie Carson. That's his 3rd.
83-78 our score. 5-point lead for the Flames.
And if you can hit these shots right here, it's only a 3-point game, 1 possession.
Smith has pretty much been
At the line, shooting for the Aztecs.
on fire from the free throw line all afternoon long. Second free throw is good. 3-point ball game here.
And our official stats are going to be brought to you by Huddle. So, definitely check them out after the game. We use a third-party stat keeper to give all the league's competition on the stats, like that block right there.
Well, maybe not a block. Could be a foul. Smith doesn't think it's a foul.
Neither does the crowd. They're saying it was the follow-through. He definitely got the block on the ball, but it was that arm coming through afterwards. Once again, we were looking at about how you come down.
That puts Jamal Miller at the free throw line.
The referees, even though we got some great ones, have their work cut out for them today.
Indeed. Anytime you in any kind of matchup, and especially as it gets more intense, the more difficult it becomes. Smith powering his way underneath. He's a little upset that he did not get a call. And here comes the Flames. And I believe that was Kwame Bates. And here come the Flames once again. This time, Miller pulls up for a 3. That one didn't go. Hill comes back. Over to Jones. That one is short. Smith, this time he gets the call he wanted earlier. Oh, and he got called for a technical foul. He was lobbying for a call earlier.
I think that was what happened. He was lobbying for it so much earlier that he come back and he said, finally, and referee said, well, there you finally have it.
So now the technical foul will send a shooter over. I believe that's Jamal Miller to shoot the technical foul. And then we'll come back on the other side for Smith's free throws.
Now, I'm no referee at heart, but Quad City, if they make their free, do they get Quad City get the ball after the free throws?
Well,
that's why I was saying. If do they shoot the free throw?
He should get the free throws. Yeah.
Or are we talking? Maybe it was a dead ball technical. Because if it's a dead ball technical, then we go back to the free throws and then we just play.
It should be a dead ball technical because it didn't happen during the play, so that makes more sense.
Correction on the technical foul, number 22, AJ Smith.
Ryan Johnson having a couple words with the official.
Quad City personal foul was assessed to double win, Sheffield Hartford. That is his third.
Smith made his first free throw, looking to get his second free throw.
I know Alamo City might be getting fired up from that, so take that energy. I wouldn't be talking to the refs anymore. I'd be talking in amongst each other, picking themselves up. It's a 7-point game, but this is literally 2 possessions to get them right back in it.
Three-pointer is short, but you're definitely correct. You definitely want to put that energy towards the remainder of this third quarter. You definitely don't want to give these Quad City Flames any additional gasoline to their flame, if you will, with a 7-point lead already.
Aztecs foul, number 2, Kenny Williams second. That is his second.
Jamal Miller's first free throw is good. And that second one is good. Jasmine Walker into the lane, drops it behind the back to Williams. Williams goes corner. Short three-pointer. That was Julius Hill short on that three. Behind the back pass. Underneath. Good recovery defense by Julius Hill on Kyle Thurston. Thurston beat him on the dribble, but Julius Hill came right behind them to alter that shot. Jamal Miller, dangerous three-point shooter, misses that one.
You know, the road that the Aztecs had to come through here, they had to go through such a great conference, from top to bottom. Anybody can beat anybody any given day type conference we have built here in the MLBA. They beat an undefeated team going into the championship for the conference and, stunned them. That's how they got to here. And Quad City, long road for them coming all the way from Seattle.
Literally speaking, quite a ways away from here to San Antonio. Here come the Aztecs. Kenny Williams, the second, into the lane, uses the glass, doesn't go. The ball gets knocked out of bounds. It should be, I believe, the Aztec basketball still. Little wet spot on the opposite side. That's going to get cleaned up. (90-81) our score. The Aztecs trailing most of the second half here in the third quarter. Kenny Williams the second. He's set to bring it in. Still waiting for that spot to dry over here on the other side.
When the bodies are flying like that, then you have to just keep going over and over and over with it.
All right, he's mopped the floor. used some hand sanitizer. He's ready to go. Josh Simmons trying the Euro step.
Oh, and he got the call.
He sure did. He's going to go to the free throw line. Blocking call against the Flames.
Yeah, number 8. That's the only time he's ever gotten any. It's those could possibly go as a charge or a blocking foul.
Desjuan Newton made a name for himself in the first half of living on the floor, taking charges.
And still doing it here. That was the wet spot we were waiting on because he was so much on the ground.
Josh Simmons will get that first free throw to go.
Aztecs call timeout.
All right, a timeout is taken by the Alamo City Aztecs with about 2 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. We'll be back in just a moment. And we welcome you back to Port San Antonio. Alamo City Aztecs, Quad City Flames here in this semifinal game.
Looked like the Aztecs were going to set up a full court press and then, got back out of it. Made Quad City change up what they were doing.
Asking for the ball is Kwame Bates. He'll try a three-pointer, doesn't go. Smith with the rebound. Flames are aggressive on defense, almost get the turnover. But they are putting on a press here. Here comes Kenny Williams, the second, breaking the press. Down low to Andrevius Smith as the Aztecs break that aggressive style defense. Here comes the Aztecs with their defense as well.
Looks like both teams are trying to put on that pressured defense and either get back into the game or, as we have a turnover.
As Walker steps in front of the Thurston pass, does a turnover, and Walker is fouled on his way up to the basket.
Kyle Thurston, that's his 4th.
Jasmine Walker, some big free throws here as he nails that one. We're approaching the 1 minute mark here in the third quarter.
I'm still living by my prediction about it's coming down to the 4th.
What a monster rebound that was by Walker. Walker goes up, and Walker, well, it's another steal by the Aztecs, and another foul. What a swing just in the last 10 seconds of play.
The coach put them in a full court press, and it's paid off.
Number 5, Willie Causey, that's his 4th.
Took the flame right out of the flame.
The Aztecs, Smith at the free throw line with a chance to tie it all up.
For the Aztecs, number 22, A.J. Smith.
And again, it's the Aztecs late in the third quarter picking up the intensity. And we're back to square one. 90-90. 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Here come the Flames, Desjuan Newton. Newton directing his offense. He wants one-on-one. He kicks it out to the left side. Long three-pointer, no good. Rebound. Harris had it, couldn't hang on to it. Here comes a three-pointer from the corner, and that goes for Kwame Bates. 35 seconds to go in this third quarter. Walker puts a little move into the lane, off the glass, doesn't go. Walker gets a rebound, doesn't put it back. And Walker trying to get his rebound once again. And he gets fouled or fouls someone.
Yeah, that one's going to be a close one. It depends on if they call him on the fall, if he had no control, or.
Well, there's no doubt that.
It looks like number 1 from the Flames is getting called for with that.
Stephon Hargrove. And I was saying Walker, and it's Andrevius Smith. My apologies, but Andrevius Smith has no quit in him as he's just all over the boards. Oh, no, he's going to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, they are in the bonus. That is the reason why we are shooting free throws right now.
Smith has been near perfect from the free throw line this afternoon.
And you have to think about this. We have a whole nother quarter left, and we're already at 91-92.
Aztecs hoping to tie it up after this one. And it is all tied up again. A timeout is taken. Or is that a technical foul? I believe that was a technical foul, not a timeout. So here's a chance for the Alamo City Aztecs to close out the third quarter on top. That free throw is good, giving the Aztecs a 1-point lead.
You know, this is something that, we don't get to really see, and what the call there was, if the NFL has always had those where they get to explain their calls, where in basketball we don't get to hear exactly what's going on.
20 seconds here in this third quarter. Newton with the basketball. Newton gets it down low. Hargrove can't finish. Here come the Aztecs. Fast break. Simmons, he gets fouled on his way up, and he'll earn a trip to the free throw line. Josh Simmons getting to the free throw line here.
Quad City foul number 5, what it costs us. That's his 5th.
(93-92) our score here in the third quarter. Josh Simmons' free throw is good. The Aztec lead now goes 94-92. Make it 95-92. 3-point lead for the Aztecs. 6 seconds to go. A last shot attempt here from near half court by Miller doesn't go. That's the end of the third quarter. And we'll take a very quick break here before we come back to start this fourth quarter. And we welcome you back to Port San Antonio to Made for More Fitness here in San Antonio, Texas.
And
Again,
Bobby, as we're waiting on the fourth quarter start here, tell us a little bit about your organization and how you got started with us.
Oh, well, we definitely appreciate being here. RC Audio Sports, we've teamed up with SHN Sports, which is Carl Schoening here and his partner Rob Hipp. They allow us to stream our games. Initially, we were just doing radio and audio streaming, but teaming up with SHN Sports, they have allowed us to put some visual images to what we are doing here. So a big thank you to Carl and Rob at SHN Sports. And thank you for having us. We really enjoy doing these Aztec games as well. Yeah,
Carl, Rob, thank you guys for being here. And if mention that you saw our game, and I'm sure they'll hook you up with a deal. And they've done a great job if you're watching with us on live stream here, or if you're just catching the game, in recap.
Well, thank you for that, Brandon. We appreciate that. As we get back to action here in the fourth quarter, 3-point lead here for the Aztecs. The Aztecs trying to stay alive, trying to make it to play tomorrow. Harris dishes it out to the right side. Walker walks away with a three. Jasmine Walker with a big three.
And they did not see Will.
Willie Causey all by his lonesome underneath. That was a breakdown in defense.
Yeah, I think they thought it was all by themselves down there.
Well,
and the All-Star just puts it in.
Now a three-pointer. Miller, he's short. That one will go out of bounds, and it hits the top of the backboard. But I sense on both sides, Brandon, a little fatigue setting in.
It's going to be that bench. See what those starters can't be playing this game at this pace for that long without something to affect their shot or their play.
And of evidence on just that last play right there, Walker hits that nice little three, gets back. One player hustles, gets down underneath, and there he is all by himself.
That was just a heads-up play by the All-Star.
Newton, he's guarded by Williams. Newton banging down low, drops it off to his big man. Now over to Bates.
Too many passes.
And here comes Walker. Walker with a one-handed jam. He put that down like he needed to. Here comes Miller. Behind the back. Scoop and lay in.
And you have Walker that just made everybody get off their feet, and then a move like that just silenced everybody.
Exactly. Harris, he'll try a long three, and that will go as Raymond Harris nails a long three. Kwame Bates, guarded by Edwards. Bates in the lane, off the back of the rim, no good. Newton rebounds. He can't get it back, but he'll get the rebound. He'll kick it out over to Miller. The Flames will reset. Here comes Miller down underneath to the cutting big Patrick Lewis.
I believe Miller's going to play a huge for the Quad City here in this fourth quarter. With his leadership, floor presence, and even maybe those three-pointers that we saw earlier.
Josh Simmons, he gets
a travel.
Called for a traveling violation. $103.98 is our score right now. Alamo City Aztecs trailing a majority of the third quarter. Have finished the third quarter strong and started the fourth quarter just as strong. Shooting that technical free throw is Jamal Miller. Is that game 3 o'clock tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. 3 o'clock right here. Once again, Huntsville, and the winner of this game, which is going to come down right to the end here, it looks like.
Just as you predicted so far.
Not 9 minutes left, 4-point game.
Bates creates some space, but he's short on that shot as Raymond Harris is fouled by Jamal Miller at the midcourt.
And that's just smart. That's a smart foul right there. If he wouldn't have done that, it was 3-on-1.
That's his fourth. First team foul.
Kenny Williams, the second with the basketball. He'll be guarded by Miller. Smith provides a small screen there. Williams looking over to the left side. Harris, he's shot from there before and made it. Down low to Smith. No, that's Walker.
Looks like he was pushed out of bounds. That's where the foul was. Just a little bump contact.
So the Aztecs will have the basketball still.
City foul number 15, Patrick Lewis.
Patrick Lewis will be called for the foul. That's the big man for the Flames. Kenny Williams with the basketball.
Just wondering if they're going to go back down to the paint or they're going to start shooting threes. Their lineup is all over the place right now. On the
They do call him for a traveling as Miller was trying to pass the ball while he was in the air. And great defense kept him from passing the ball and therefore creating that traveling violation. Walker gets it into Kenny Williams, the second.
Absolutely. And, the Aztecs actually came back in this game not just by scoring, but great hustle on defense, creating turnover after turnover.
Down low, Smith kicks it out, but Desjuan Newton is going to be called for some body contact down low.
Quad City foul number 8.
We talked a little bit at a break about how well this game has been officiated. There's been some contact, but this officiating crew has done, for the most part, a pretty good job of catching just about everything.
Oh, it's it's one of those as an official you're never going to be liked no matter what you call. 1 minute you're hated by a team, 1 minute you're loved. But I think it's been a fair overall.
And there's some contact there as Corey Thielke was going on a pump fake there, and he got hit underneath. So that's going to stay on the ground here, not going to be any free throws. Willie Causey will bring the ball in for the Flames, and that's, the officials will tell us.
Number 5, Willie Causey.
We're saying that's 5 team fouls. See, that's what happens with technical fouls. Not a lot of people know about this, but the technical foul counts as 2. So
puts you in the bonus a lot quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it looks like Thielke will get to the free throw line.
No, actually, no, they're not going to go. They're doing a side out. That was the timeout. The time was because number 5 actually fouled out of the game. And timeout from the Aztecs.
All right, well, we'll take a quick timeout here as well. We'll come back. We'll get back to action. 103-99 is the score here in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. We welcome you back here to action as the officiating crew is still trying to clear up that the confusion there about whether or not a player is fouled out or not. And I believe they're asking about, is it number 5?
Yeah,
they're concerned about
it's
Willie Cowsey, and he's out here on the court.
Quad City ball.
No, that was number 5 on the Aztecs.
Oh, Josh Simmons.
Yeah, that technical foul is what they're really discussing on.
Newton gets the ball swatted away by Andrevius Smith.
And that's how important number 5 is. He's the one that created that fadeaway that got Smith to be able to swat it.
So Josh Simmons, number 5, he is out on the court, so he still has a chance to hang around for a little longer. Filkey, nice move, can't go, but Patrick Lewis underneath created his own space, and he gets called for the foul.
Still a 4-point game. 7 minutes ago here.
It's been about the same score for the past couple minutes, I'd say. Williams looking for Walker. Walker over to the right side. Harris, little hop, little step. Back over to Smith. Smith cross court. Williams gets it poked away by Thurston. And that ball will go out of bounds, and it will remain with the Aztecs. Harris will set the offense. Walker will provide a small screen, but Harris will be called for
the
carryover there.
That's a spin move is so hard. You see the NBA do it so easily and effortlessly, but sometimes it can be created with that little carryover.
Stephon Hargrove will take a break for the Quad City Flames. Big Patrick Lewis down low in the paint, goes underneath, and he'll get a couple points.
Now we're back to a 2-point game.
103-101. Simmons splits 2 defenders. Simmons creates some space, and he does a great job of getting the left-hand layup to go.
Break that double team, and he was just able to get to the basket.
Nice little move by Newton, but he can't finish there. Here come the Aztecs. Smith slowing it down, giving it over to the point guard. Kenny Williams the second, guarded by Thurston. Williams over to the right side to Simmons. This time, now it's the Aztecs playing a little ball control with a 101-105 lead. Simmons between the legs goes right into the lane, kicks it out to the corner. Javon Walker will go for a 3. That's in and out. Rebound, Quad City Flames.
I think we have an injured Alamo City player.
And that's a big player right there as Patrick Lewis gets in on the action for 2 points. But A.J. Smith is limping, and he's asking for someone to come in for him. Maybe some cramps. I believe that's cramping up.
And look at that sportsmanship right there.
Yeah.
The Quad City guy is coming over here and helping him out with his cramp.
With that cramp there. So Andrevius Smith is cramping up, and which is to be expected. These guys are playing tough, playing hard. It's very humid, not only outside, but even in this gym. And that's going to happen here from time to time. But a lot of credit to the Quad City Flames, Desjuan Newton.
I mean, he's doing it all today.
Yeah. First responder there for A.J. Smith to help massage out that cramp. And it's all happened to us all, and very painful and uncomfortable situation that is. 105-103 is the score. The scoreboard here at the gymnasium did go out for a quick second, but luckily we've got Carl Schoening here on our scoreboard here, so we can trust in that is correct. But certainly the crowd, I think they're forgetting that last little basket here that happened before this injury. But in a situation like this, I think they're just going to have to go down and count all the points.
This is just a heated game. This is not just the guys sweating and getting down nitty-gritty, but they really want to win this. This is something that they desire. They worked all season for.
All season long, all off-season long, all the preparation time, all the off-season workouts for the endurance. As Walker finds Simmons underneath, and Simmons could not finish that one. Newton will kick it out to Thurston. Thurston will go for a long two. That doesn't work, and the rebound will be controlled by Josh Simmons. Simmons, he's double-teamed, gets rid of the ball.
Are they going to get over that court in time?
They do.
No, they don't.
8-second violation.
That's just defense. He kind of held it a little too long there.
Boy, if it was too long, it would have been maybe a tenth of a second too long. But here comes Thurston. He gets it into Filkey. Filkey to Newton. Newton does a good job, drops it down low to Lewis. Lewis gets the ball knocked out of his hands. And whose ball does it belong to? Belongs to the Alamo City Aztecs. Well, you are absolutely right. Brandon, this game coming down to the wire. 105-103 with 4 minutes and 41 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. And it's a toss-up. Who's going to have that last run? Who's going to make that last stop? Over to the left side to Simmons.
It's the first person that says that they're going to be urgent, that they need to score, is going to be the person that falls behind here. You start jacking up anything and forcing anything, that's it's not a good look.
And right now the Aztecs taking their time, making that play, and
we got charge.
Guess who took the charge? Number 8, Desjuan Newton. He's taking about 3 or 4 charges. He's also taking about 2 or 3 fouls.
Yeah, from looking for charges, yeah.
So,
I mean, I think all his fouls have been from blocking fouls right in the lane.
But I tell you what, he's certainly in the positive side because he's gotten more charge calls than foul calls.
And that's just getting to the spot quicker.
Now that's a good block there by traveling by. Whoa! So Jamal Miller going into the lane, he gets blocked.
And that right there is the big man. He did not move. You ran right into him and he just did not move.
Some substitutions here.
I think we have a timeout by Quad City.
Certainly is. Well, timeout. We'll take another break here as we'll prepare for the last few minutes of this ball game. Just keep it right here. We'll be right back. in Port San Antonio in this semifinal basketball game between the Quad City Flames and the Alamo City Aztecs. We are in the fourth quarter, and it has been a back-and-forth game all afternoon long.
We've not seen a lot of scoring here in the last 10 minutes of this game. Pretty much stayed really close. Defense has been phenomenal on both ends.
If you can recall, the third quarter ended in the mid-90s. Thurston with the basketball. Stopping on a dime, dishing it over to Newton. And offensive. No, wait a second. Count the basket. So Newton will get to the free throw line as he gets fouled.
And have a possibility of taking the lead once again.
Foul number 2, getting into the second. That's his third.
That extra point by Newton is good. 106-105. Aztecs down by 1.
Newton's willing his team to play again tomorrow.
Josh Simmons, a nice jumper.
I think that was a long 2. It looked like a 3, but I think they're going to put it as a 2.
Thurston into the lane, kicks it back out to Miller. Miller drives, dumps it inside big Patrick Lewis, and he did not finish on that basket there, but that ball goes out of bounds, and it looks like the Aztecs will get the ball. Nope, there's a foul.
Yeah, on Miller. He got the ball, and the ball being slippery, it went right into his grill.
So the Aztecs will have the basketball. Brandon Jones will bring the ball in. Nope. What? They're going to send him over to the free throw line. That's big, as the Aztecs only lead by 1 now. 106-107. A chance to increase that lead. Free throw is good for Simmons. Brandon, you were talking about how huge it is for Simmons to still be in the ballgame by not fouling out. There's 2 big points that the Aztecs need. Here comes Desjuan Newton, hard to the lane. He gets fouled. He'll earn a trip to the charity stripe.
Yeah, and as you're seeing, he's still going in for a 2 instead of getting urgent and shooting for 3. So, like I said, it's the first person that starts to look like they need is that urgency. He has it where he can bring it within 1 right now.
Very calculated on the Quad City Flames part here as no time's coming off the clock. They are inching away.
But you have to hit it. Live and die.
Again, winner of this game has another date tomorrow right here at 3 o'clock.
And you have to wonder with all the energy they're putting into this, it's affecting their shots as Newton hasn't really missed all day long in free throws.
And there's a blocking call. And you're right. Throughout the game, the Quad City Flames have done a pretty decent job of hitting their free throws. Missed 2 big ones here in the last one. And sounds like that's going to do it for Mr. Jamal Miller, as he worked very hard all game long. And he's got his 6th foul.
And that's going to hurt him going down, because it looked like he could definitely shoot some threes that might need it when you start hitting those urgencies, right, that you need to come back into this game.
Right, we definitely saw the range for Mr. Jamal Miller, and he can certainly connect from just about anywhere behind the arc. That's going to put Josh Simmons on the free throw line for the Aztecs. trying to increase their lead any way they can.
And Mr. Miller over there is actually doing a smart thing. He's taking his full 5 minutes to give his teammates some rest, much needed rest, because they look winded out there right now.
I think both teams are going to be exhausted after this game, and I saw that late in the third quarter.
As you mentioned once before, they're young. They're going to go home and take a nice shower and get back up and do it again tomorrow.
Yep. Second free throw for Simmons is no good. So Simmons,
still one possession game, and Quad City is definitely not out of this. Oh,
there's that
other
range.
three-pointer.
Thurston from way downtown, and they tie it up in just one shot.
I think I'm going to give him a new nickname, Mr. Curry.
Harris drives into the lane. He can't finish. Now, here come the Flames. Thurston gets it to the top of the key to Newton. Newton sets up his offense. Kenny Williams is second, defending. Little bit of room, uses the glass. Desjuan Newton gives the Flames a 2-point lead. Jamal, check that. Jasmine Walker responds nicely. Here we go. Back and forth. There's a shot as Newton fades away. Raymond Harris gets a piece of him.
Oh, this can't be good right here. He looks.
Cramping?
He might actually be cramping himself after we saw the sportsmanship of him going on and helping the other team.
Little pickle juice might.
Well, as we saw in the NBA, you have to shoot to stay in the game. So this is huge, because if he does not shoot it and they sub him,
yeah, you can't come back.
They did. That is a great move by Doc, the head coach of the Flames, by calling a timeout, giving his player much needed.
Yeah, this South Texas humidity could definitely do that to you, cramping it up.
Yeah, we went there last year for the championship. We played in Vancouver, and it was such a great atmosphere, great city. We first flew into Seattle and was just real love. So as we take a break, we'll talk about that a little bit more.
All right, we'll be right back.
Sorry, I do.
No. Back. The big answer to the big question is, does Juan Newton come back? Cramp went away. As you mentioned, Brandon, what a great call it was by the head coach of the Quad City Flames, Doc, to give his player ample time to get that cramp to pass by. So a lot of strategic planning here as we're hitting the 2-minute mark on these free throws as the Quad City Flames reclaim the lead, 112-111.
And you're looking at every point counts right now. Every hustle play counts. So it's going to come down to who's got it left in it, who can out-hustle who.
All right, here's that second free throw. Misses.
That creates,
Desmond Walker with the rebound.
and that creates a interesting opportunity there because now it's only a 1-point game and a 2-point can win it.
Simmons loses a handle on it, but somehow manages to keep it. Gets it out over to the right side, and a blocking foul will be called as Juan Newton will get called for that one. And he doesn't like that call one bit. He feels he's perfected the art of taking the charge, but this time Brendan Nichols will get to the free throw line. But as you mentioned, every single play, every point, every pass, every foul is going to be important going forward.
Oh, and if you look at it by number 8 there, it's even every charge is going to
And then that's always in my opinion, it's always a 50-50 because it's just going to become, I mean, you can be set, you can be there, but it's all going to determine how did the officials see it.
And he missed both of them, which still creates a 1-point game, but in Quad City Flames' favor.
Here comes Thurston, guarded by Williams. Thurston over to Nichols, back over to Newton. Newton to Bates. Bates fires the three. No good. And that'll hit the top of the backboard. So that would go out of bounds. Aztecs with the basketball now have another opportunity. The Flames, they have their big man Patrick Lewis playing full court defense over here. Josh Simmons set to bring the ball in for the Aztecs as the officials will wipe down the ball. Under a minute and a half to go. The Aztecs trail by 1. Desmond Walker. He'll be greeted at the midcourt. Walker kicks it out. Harris now to the corner. Williams, a corner three, way short. Rebound, Lewis. Lewis kicks it out over to Newton. Newton gets the pass intercepted by Harris. Harris to Williams. That pass is now taken away by the Flames, and Kenny Williams II will have to foul the Flames. Bates gets fouled, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to foul in there. I think it was just they got tangled up, and in high school we used to call that a flat tire.
These are big shots here for Kwame Bates, with the Flames leading by 1 already. Now they lead by 2.
And if you look what Quad City has out on their court, this is a grouping that they haven't had all game long. Some bench players in there that have shown that they can play.
Now it's a 3-point ball game here for the Aztecs. Under a minute to go, so it's go time now for the Aztecs. Harris with the basketball, gets it over to the right side of Nichols. Nichols drives into the lane, goes up for a dunk, and that ball gets pinned between the rim and the backboard.
Yeah, they're going to call a foul, though, on, 23. So Nichols is going to go to the line.
Kwame Bates is called for the foul.
I do apologize, 32.
Well, it's because you're seeing it backwards there. 32-23. So the officials, we're directly, obviously, you can see as you pan through the cameras, we're opposite side of the official scorers table. Big free throw there for Nichols as that one goes. Now the lead cut down to 2.
Aztecs call timeout.
So the Aztecs will call a timeout. It's getting interesting. Keep it right here. We'll be back with the rest of this fourth quarter action. And we welcome you back to Made for More Fitness here in Port San Antonio. Brandon Collins, I'm Bobby Mendez, Carl Schoening, making this happen for us this afternoon. We're under a minute in this ball game at 45 seconds. The Alamo City Aztecs are trailing the Quad City Flames by 2 points. Nichols is at the free throw line for one free throw shot. He misses that one. It's rebounded.
And you know, I don't know if that's smart to. Uh-oh.
Thurston. That's a goaltend. Count the basket as Brandon Harris pins the ball up against the backboard.
You know, sometimes you take a timeout. He just iced his own free throw.
Walker drives in. Shot, no good. Blocking foul. Good call. Patrick Lewis will be called for that, as a good job by Jasmine Walker, creating the contact.
And these are huge. He has to at least make one of the two to keep him at a 1 point, one possession game, as Quad City has made their run at the end. So let's see who gets that last little run here with 27 seconds left.
Well, that free throw is good for Walker. So that makes it the one possession game, or one possession ball game, yes. Jasmine's second free throw is good.
Which now sets up an opportunity. If they do shoot a three, they could win it.
Thurston
with
has
a
the
full
ball.
court press.
Hargrove, he has the ball. He is immediately fouled, which I don't think is a bad idea either.
Now, I do have to say this, that Alamo City just showed that was the first urgency. So let's see if they can shoot these right here. If he makes both, that's huge. If he misses one, that's huge.
Well, I don't think we've seen Hargrove at the free throw line today. So I'm assuming
He's went 1 for 3 that I know of. So he is not the greatest free throw shooter.
Well, he's great right now. He's giving them a 3-point lead.
Never required Shaq to shoot free throws. Just give it to him down low. That's what number 1 here has been doing all night.
Stephon Hargrove tries to bank it, doesn't get it, but the putback goes by Desjuan Newton. Here comes Josh Simmons, steps in, shoots, back of the rim, and the clock is now under 10 seconds. Walker gets a steal, gets it up. Count the basket
Ooh.
for Walker, as Jasmine Walker stole the basketball and goes in for 2. What does that look like here? He's got a chance for an extra point.
So it make it a 2-point possession or 2-point game. One possession, shoot 3 could win the game.
So do you miss it and try to get the ball back?
Oh no, you have to
foul real quickly.
You have to put the points up. Let them throw it in. If they get it, foul.
Foul immediately. Walker hit his last 2 free throws. Big free throw here. Misses that one. Rebound. Ball gets loose. And that's going to do it. That is going to do it. 119, 116.
That was such a great ending to it. What a great game.
Wow. So that is just a heartbreaker for the Alamo City Aztecs. But it was no quit in there for the Quad City Flames, as it came down to free throws. Stephon Hargrove missed that second free throw. But
that one free throw that he did make was crucial, because it changes. They had to shoot for 3 instead of shooting for 2.
And then it was Desjuan Newton with a putback,
which is the player of the game. No doubtably.
I was just about to mention to you that, in my opinion, I feel that he's taken charges. He's gambled a little bit, but for the most part, he ended up on top of that And just like that, the Quad City Flames are going to advance and play tomorrow in the championship.
Let's see how beat up they are, because, I mean, number 8, definitely his body's going to be hurting from being on the floor so much. And, you know, it was just down to the wire. And, you know, this is what I hate about, you know, an ending like this is that, you know, for Alamo City, there's next season now, not
right.
next day. And they've been such a great team this year, and you know, we had several different players, teams in the playoffs do that as well that had great runs, and it's just I hope they rebuild and see what they need just that extra step to push
right.
the league.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's one of those situations where someone has to lose, and Alamo City Aztecs, they had a great season, some tremendous talent, and you called it. This game was going to go down right to the wire, and it's sure enough, it did. And I just think that's even just going to make for an even more exciting matchup tomorrow when the Quad City Flames meet up in the championship with an undefeated team.
Yes, Huntsville. They watch these guys, the heart and who they have to defend, and that's huge because you know what they can game plan all night now.
Oh, they sure can, and that's going to do it for us and for us. Here this afternoon for this broadcast. I want to thank you for joining us. Especially thank you, Mr. Brandon Collins, for joining our broadcast today. And of course, big thank you to SHN Sports, Carl Schoening, who's here producing the show today. And also thank you for listening and watching with us at RC Audio Sports. But tomorrow we'll do this all over again, and we'll have the game for you at 3 p.m. Central Time. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night or good afternoon. Thank you.